Yeah, so it's been huge, probably 4.5 to 5x, like 450 to 500% growth since we started about, I think it was 12 or 13 months ago. It was like last February, so 14 months, but yeah, 500% growth. Um, there's no way we could have done it without like getting help over here operationally. So it's been tremendous. And the good thing is that this system now, it sets us up to like really skyrocket to the next level. Like I think we have the capacity to handle 10 times more than we could beforehand.
I'm here with Nick. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me. Please give people a warm intro on
Of
yourself.
course. Yeah. Thank you for having me. I feel like I'm on a show here. But
Yeah.
thanks for having me, Tony. Mick Konstantinidis. I am one of the founders of Buzzlead. We're a B2B lead generation agency. And yeah, had the pleasure of working with Tony for over a year now. Um, Excited to kind of talk about our journey together and what we've been able to build out or what you guys have built out for us. But yeah, thanks for having me, man.
There we go. Awesome. Great to have you. Well, I'll start you off with what was sort of the original situation that you guys were in when you decided to reach out to us. What were some of the problems you were facing? And let's start from there.
Yeah. So I think it's been probably 14, 15 months or so. And I think some of the biggest problems, I mean, it was all operational related. We had started scaling and just I don't have a tech background. I don't have I'm not very sharp or witty with any of my operations or anything. And so like once we started scaling and had 2 to 3x more clients than we did when we had first started, obviously that became a huge bottleneck just keeping up with any sort of day-to-day operations, whether that's just like overall seeing everything that's going on, reporting. We were doing so much stuff through like spreadsheets manually, that made client communications like very difficult. And it just became a big bottleneck being able to just keep up with everything. We didn't even know what was able to be automated without really like having a deep dive into like what's going on with our business. And overall, yeah, it just got to a point where it was like I'm pulling all nighters. I was just doing way too much and trying to figure out how to do stuff that wasn't my cup of tea. So in came OpsKings, and we started off with a company brain and kind of realized it was eye opening. Yeah.
Yeah. I think your story is pretty similar to why most clients come to us. Um, I'm curious, what options have you been considering aside from us, or what things have you tried to try to fix the kind of problems you were facing? Did you try tinkering with tech yourself? Did you try going on Upwork? Like, what was your thought process
Mhm.
in trying to solve for this problem?
Yeah, I think I did a little bit of all of those. I mean, I definitely tried doing stuff myself through Zapier at first, then through Make. Spent way more time than I needed to trying to put together the most simple, 2-step scenarios, 2 module scenarios, and realized that it's definitely something that I shouldn't be doing myself because it's just not my, strength. And so then I had looked to Upwork, hired a couple of people for one-off projects here, paid for a lot of stuff that was broken that I never got use out of. Ended up having another buddy who was trying to start a similar agency to OpsKings. He had came in and he was helping me for 2 to 3 months or so, and he had built out a little preliminary skeleton kind of sort of a Airtable system, operating system, but it was sufficient for like a couple of weeks, but it just got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm having to teach more than I'm able to like actually learn and use. And so I just needed to have somebody that had done this before, somebody that could build out stuff that I could then use instead of me having to like work hand in hand to build that stuff out. Um, and so that was the biggest thing. I saw who you guys had worked with before, and saw some systems from other people that I know you had crushed it with. And I was like, this is, exactly what I need.
Awesome. Awesome. So obviously we've done sort of a full service OS build, right? We've touched everything from reporting, the account management side. What are some of the kind of functional areas of the business that are now sort of under your operating system that you feel like today are either your favorite or saving you most time or basically making you the most money? Obviously, we've done a lot of things in the past year or so, but if you could kind of point out like an individual system or two, which one would you pick?
Yeah, that's a tough question because there really is so many of them. I mean, we use the operating system really for everything. I'd say like one of the biggest things has just been like keeping track of honestly just feedback with clients, client reporting KPIs. Like we were spending a lot of time, and especially me, I was probably spending at least almost like a full day. Like it was like 8 hours of one day out of the month having to do like invoices, having to backtrack and just like see, did these opportunities happen? Because we were doing a pay per call model, and I had to keep track of all these hundreds of meetings on any given month, and then just going back and forth through my emails and just like trying to find everything and reconcile what I need to physically send with invoices. And then mistakes were made and I had to go back and forth. That was a huge nightmare. So with you guys, obviously you built out all of our KPIs and reporting from within Airtable. But in addition to that, like, all of our clients had their feedback forms that automatically got pushed over to us. The clients had their client portal that you guys helped us build. That was just a nice dashboard that showed really all of their results, active campaigns, meetings booked on a historical basis or the future. And
Right.
that just gave them what they needed to really have good oversight over everything. And then on my end with reporting, it was pretty much just, all right, come in here. All of the stats are there. It's accurate. That pushes directly into Stripes. The invoices are automatically generated. I just got to approve them. And that's just one thing that saved a ton of time. But then, outside of that, the ability to be able to send these clients their weekly reports or access to their magic portal or,
Yep.
all of the communication. I mean, it just became a nightmare when you're trying to manage 20 clients or so. So I don't know. I could go on and on with different features. Interested leads dashboard pipeline, automatically enriching mobile phone numbers. Like there's been a lot of really cool features that are just built in there.
No, love it. I think the visual aspect, always the reporting, the client portals is usually what people kind of pick out out of all the systems. In terms of Buzzlead as a company, where did you guys basically what was the transformation? Where did you guys start off, and where are you guys now in terms of growth?
Yeah, so it's been huge, probably 4.5 to 5x, like 450 to 500% growth since we started about, I think it was 12 or 13 months ago. It was like last
Yeah.
February, so 14 months, but yeah, 500% growth. Um, there's no way we could have done it without like getting help over here operationally. So it's been tremendous. And the good thing is that this system now, it sets us up to like really skyrocket to the next level. Like I think we have the capacity to handle 10 times more than we could beforehand. And we have a system that just makes it easier to, get other people in place and have SOPs and documents and processes that somebody who's a new hire could come in and see, as opposed to beforehand where me and Troy or my business partner literally had everything just kind of stuck up here. It was impossible to train.
Yeah. I mean, and to your point, you mentioned sort of the company brain being sort of the first thing we do. A lot of the times people have a misconception about OpsKings. They usually think about us just like as an IT company, right? We build the tech. And but there's a whole other element. And when me and you talked the other day, you mentioned the entire consulting aspect as being equally as valuable, if not more valuable than the actual build outs of the tech. So if you can expand a bit of that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because really there is just like there's so much more to it than just being somebody who helps with the automations and like this is me and Troy's, well, I guess second business that we've started. We launched another one a couple of years ago. Never really got into it, but Buzzlead's our first serious business, and so a lot of our pain points is we just don't know what we don't know when it comes to like hiring people or when it comes to like knowing how to prioritize what is bottlenecks and what are must haves and just overall structuring of the organization and being able to see things from kind of like a more granular level and then I guess more into the details and like working with you specifically, Tony, like you're very good with just like operations and just being able to kind of consult and delegate. And I'd say that's probably our biggest weakness. So like for anybody that is looking for assistance, just to kind of, it's almost, I don't want to say it's like coaching, but kind of is like operational coaching in a way, but
Yep.
it's very helpful because like I think business owners get really caught up in the day to day where they don't take a step back and kind of like look at things from a higher level. And prioritize what's more important than the other. And a lot of people stay stuck spinning their wheels, me included. But I think that aspect is huge because a lot of people don't know how to hire. They don't know how to operate things or systematize things, write SOPs. And I think you guys do a fantastic job of getting people ready to make big moves, whether that be growing from an employee size or, adding on services, wherever that may be.
Yeah, no, makes a lot of sense. Thanks for the kind words. Um, that's pretty much it. I don't have much. Aside from obviously, the tech build out, the consulting side. Um, I think something that definitely in our engagement worked out very well. As cold email and lead generation as an industry was evolving, we're also working with a lot of people in the industry. So I felt like being on the cusp of information, both from the things that you were bringing us, but the sort of industry expertise that we were able to bring to the table. I think that helped us a lot in our relationship. But is there anything else that you would add for someone that's considering either booking a call with us or potentially working with us, that you would tell them as a piece of information and one of the longer term OpsKings customers? What would you tell them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would just say don't try to go like, the cheap route, like going and like I did the same exact thing. I just really like, I was like trying to find people off Fiverr, Upwork, friends. And it's just like, you end up literally like, you might get some stuff done, but it's almost just like a Band-Aid. You need a bigger fix. And like, it's worth at least just having a conversation with Ryan and Tony because they really are next level. They've got a great team. They've got tons of developers in the background and, they're very quick and attentive with requests. You make a request in their team and their OpsKings bot catches it literally after your finger gets off the keyboard. But definitely check them out because you'll spend a lot of time just trying to do things yourself, the cheap route, and just like trying to do things, in an inefficient way. And I think it's at least just worth speaking with them. They'll be very honest, transparent on whether or not they can help or not. And a really great team that they've got going. Plus, I had a elbow tendonitis or something like this, and they got me a little mat for Christmas, and now that pain is gone. So,
We fix your joint pain as well, right? As going on the landing page.
but yeah,
Yeah.
no, I couldn't recommend OpsKings hire that to anybody who's looking to check out like an automations, operations, consulting, crew, IT services, anything, all of that nature. Like, definitely check them out. Highly recommend Tony and Ryan.
Awesome, Nick. Thanks so much for the kind words and the time. That's been the interview, and hopefully we do a part two of this one. Sometimes on the line.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, thanks for having me here, and appreciate everything that you've done, Tony.